Hello everyone! Just over a week ago, Jeff Bezos married Lauren Sanchez. And so, in light of the current situation, I'm making sure that both of them have to drop their masks in this video today. As a little preparation, I posted a fun little riddle in the community section on Tuesday night. This meme here, in which I ask you if you could tell these two female stars apart. Who is the female star on top and who is the female star on the bottom? So what's coming up in today's video? I'm going to start by solving this riddle, and there were actually people in my community who were able to provide the correct answers. So, congratulations to XXEJ5BU. Wow, that name is even more interesting than my name. But the bottom line is XXEJ5BU mentioned the right names in this comment. Congratulations, and of course Diane Virgil, a very faithful, sympathetic follower supporting my work with a lot of nice comments. Diane Virgil also got it right. Yes, it turns out the two female stars were Jeff Bezos' new wife, Lauren Sanchez, and Chaterine Zeta-Jones. So, in this video, I'm going to start by exposing the aristocratic princess behind these two beauties. And since the true identity of Jeff Bezos' new wife will also come to light, I will then expose Jeff Bezos himself at the climax of this video, so stay tuned until the end. So, I think it's clear why I chose a compilation of these two stars for this riddle. Riddles are supposed to be tricky after all. And that's why I chose two stars where the aristocratic princess who plays them actually uses the same costume for both star roles. Because the characters in both pictures look very similar, XXEJ5BU even had to admit that he only found the right names by analyzing the two pictures with artificial intelligence. Well, bro, that's no shame. I'm not mad at you. Every honest comment is extremely enriching, because in this case it underscores we live in an actor-based reality in which a single female aristocrat can afford to use the same costume for two fake identities she plays. It's obvious that these two supposedly different stars are difficult to distinguish from one another, and I really hope that more media consumers will notice such cases, because there are really plenty of them, or in other words, the European aristocrats don't always put in that much effort. But now, of course, I have to quickly show you that these pictures I've picked out are actually true. The one on the left is Lauren Sanchez, and the one on the right is really Chaterine Zeta-Jones, Despite these two women look very much alike, so here are the two original sources for each picture. This is the original source for the left picture with Lauren Sanchez. And this is the original source for the right picture with Chaterine Zeta-Jones. So, which princess is playing these two characters? Well, it's Princess Marie of Denmark, wife of Prince Frederik of Denmark. And no, that does not mean that Prince Frederik of Denmark is playing Jeff Bezos. But we come to that exposure of the male side at the end of the video. Let's stay at the female side first, okay? So, here are the matches between Princess Marie of Denmark and Chaterine Zeta-Jones. Now let's come to the matches between Princess Mary of Denmark and Lauren Sanchez. Now, finally, we are heading to the climax of this video. I'm gonna expose Jeff Bezos now, since I knew his wife comes from the Danish royal house. It appeared very possible to me that Jeff Bezos himself also comes from exactly that house. And indeed, he's played by Prince Joachim of Denmark. But I have to admit, this is one of the most sophisticated disguises I've seen so far. Joachim made his ears enormously larger for his role as Jeff Bezos, which initially irritated me a lot. And as Jeff Bezos, he added steeper slopes to the end of his narrow chin, angles that spread upwards very widely. This makes Jeff Bezos' face look as if its strikingly sharp edges were drawn with a ruler. That's a truly clever distraction, but you can still clearly see from the eyes, the nose, and especially the elongated line-like mouth. Yes, that's Joachim behind Jeff Bezos. Furthermore, one of the biggest camouflage tricks in this case is that Joachim has almost completely covered up his pronounced long mouth wrinkles, as you can see in this second picture. This photo comparison is very convincing. Even the younger Jeff Bezos, who still had brown hair, can be matched with Prince Joachim. You can see again how much Joachim in his role as Jeff Bezos has really covered up his actually very pronounced mouth wrinkles. All of these mouse wrinkles that run from Joachim's cheeks down to his chin are simply gone in the Jeff Bezos masquerade. But the identical eyes are still noticeable here, and that long line of the mouth can be seen on both sides again. In this further comparison, however, you can clearly see that both characters do indeed have the exact same chin. The way Joachim camouflages his eyes here is incredible. He often applies this alteration of his eyes in his role as Jeff Bezos, but we've seen a few comparisons before where the eyes were absolutely identical. In this ear comparison, you really have to focus on ensuring the inner auricles are identical. Even thought Joachim really went to great lengths to artificially enlarge the outer earlobes in his Jeff Bezos role. It's also important that the skull shape is very similar. You can see that in this side profile comparison just by looking at the forehead line. But let's take a look at this version of the side profile comparison, where you can also compare the shape of the end of the skull, the shape of the back of the head, which is very telling here. Now I still got a funny thing to tell about the actual happening of Jeff Bezos' marriage. There was also a very striking guest on this marriage. A guest who wore his cap so low that it camouflaged his entire face. This shy guy, who apparently didn't want to be recognized by anyone, was Leonardo DiCaprio. Look at this moron! What is he afraid of? Was his desire for anonymity related to the fact that Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice was denounced as a major climate sin of the rich, as many of the invited stars arrived there with their numerous private jets and yachts? I mean, doesn't Leonardo run the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, which fights against climate change and tries to save the environment? So, I don't know what kind of stupid hiding my face behind a cap act that was by Leonardo DiCaprio there, but what I do know, these European royals like to adapt the fake identities of all their relatives into one big fake production. Because of this nepotism, the Danish and Greek royals love to invite each other to the fake productions because these two houses are very closely related. And concerning Leonardo DiCaprio, that means he was on the marriage of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez because the latter two are played by two Danish nobles, as we have already seen, and Leonardo DiCaprio is played by a Greek noble, as I have shown in one of my videos about 2 months ago. He is played by Prince Nikolaos of Greece, so that's just another family relation proof. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Goodbye for now. Your Somnidelius Solertius.